If you're waiting for someone to hand you the secret code to life, stop. No one is coming. No mentor is going to knock on your door with a blueprint. No viral clip is going to rewire your future overnight. And the longer you wait for that breakthrough moment, the further you fall behind the men who decided to build themselves quietly, relentlessly, and without applause. Here's the truth most people won't tell you. The world does not reward potential. It rewards performance. It doesn't care how smart you are, how deep your story is, or how misunderstood you feel. It responds to results. That's not cruelty. That's reality. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you stop wasting energy trying to look impressive and start becoming effective. Your identity is not your job title, your income bracket, or your relationship status. In the US, UK, or Canada, we're conditioned early to attach our worth to productivity and optics. What school did you attend? What do you do for a living? What's your salary? But if your entire sense of self collapses when you lose a job or a relationship, then you never had an identity. You had a costume. Real identity is who you are when the applause stops. It's how you respond when you fail. It's whether you keep your word when no one would know if you didn't. And here's something that might sting. No one really cares about your struggle until you win. And even then, only briefly. So stop crafting a narrative designed to gain sympathy or admiration. Build something tangible. Develop skills. Improve your health. Grow your discipline. Results speak louder than explanations ever will. Now let's talk about your circle. The 5 men you spend the most time with are quietly determining your future income, your standards, your habits, and even your self-belief. If your group normalizes mediocrity, guess what becomes normal? If complaining is the dominant language, you'll start speaking it fluently. In Western culture especially, we romanticize loyalty to old friends, but loyalty to a shared past should not override responsibility for your future. Not all friendships are meant to last. Some were seasonal, some were convenient, and some are anchors disguised as brothers. You need friends who challenge you, not just comfort you. Men who call you out when you're slipping. Men who are building something. Men who are uncomfortable with stagnation. Comfort feels good, but comfort rarely creates growth. If you look around and no one in your circle intimidates you in a positive way, you might be the biggest fish in a very small pond, and that should concern you. When it comes to relationships, stop playing numbers games. You don't need 100 shallow interactions. You need depth. You need self-respect. You need standards. In a dating culture fueled by apps and instant gratification, it's easy to confuse attention with connection. They're not the same. Attention is cheap. Connection is earned. Vulnerability is not weakness, it's controlled strength. But vulnerability without boundaries turns into self-sabotage. Set standards for how you're treated. Learn to apologize without deflecting. "I'm sorry you felt that way" is not accountability. It's avoidance dressed up as maturity. And when someone shows you consistent patterns of disrespect, instability, or dishonesty, believe them. You are not obligated to fix what you didn't break. Now let's talk about work, because this is where many young men build their entire identity. Your employer is not your family. Corporations, whether in New York, London, or Toronto, are designed to optimize profit, not protect your dreams. That doesn't make them evil. It makes them businesses. If you confuse professional convenience with personal loyalty, you will eventually feel betrayed. Degrees matter, but skills matter more. A diploma might get you in the room. Competence keeps you there. Communication, negotiation, critical thinking, these are leverage. Your ability to articulate ideas clearly can increase your income more than another certification ever will. And salary negotiations are not greedy, they are strategic. The number you accept today compounds over years. A weak negotiation at 25 can quietly cost you hundreds of thousands by 40. Financial literacy is not optional, it's survival. In economies shaped by inflation, rising housing costs, and volatile markets, ignorance is expensive. If you don't understand how interest works, it will work against you. If you don't understand taxes, you'll overpay. If you don't control your spending, lifestyle creep will trap you. Financial freedom is not about flexing luxury cars or designer brands. It's about options. The option to leave a toxic job. The option to take a calculated risk. The option to breathe. Start investing early, not because it's trendy, but because time is the most powerful multiplier you will ever have. Compound growth is invisible in the short term and undeniable in the long term. The discipline to delay gratification in a culture obsessed with same-day delivery and instant dopamine is a superpower. Most people will spend money to impress people they don't even respect. Quietly build instead. Your body is not indestructible. You cannot treat your 20s like a demolition derby and expect your 40s to feel like a victory lap. Sleep is not laziness, it's biological leverage. Strength training is not vanity, it's resilience. The discipline you build in the gym transfers directly into your career and your mindset. And regular health checkups are not paranoia, they're prevention. You don't wait for your engine to explode before changing the oil. Don't do that with your body. Mentally, discipline will carry you further than motivation ever will. Motivation fades, discipline remains. In a world engineered to hijack your attention, notifications, streaming platforms, endless scrolling, your ability to focus is currency. Guard it. What you repeatedly consume shapes how you think, and how you think shapes how you act. Learn to sit with discomfort. Growth lives there. The men who win long-term are not the ones who feel the most inspired. They're the ones who keep showing up when inspiration disappears. Develop practical skills that separate you. Learn to speak in public without shrinking. In boardrooms, interviews, or networking events, clarity and confidence are rare and therefore valuable. Write clearly. Think clearly. Ask better questions. Most people are waiting for their turn to talk. The man who genuinely listens gains insight others miss. And understand this, negotiation is everywhere, from job offers to rent agreements to business deals. If you don't learn how to negotiate, you will always accept terms written by someone else. Build a life, not just a resume. Your daily habits matter more than occasional bursts of intensity. Reading books will stretch your thinking beyond the algorithm. Travel, when possible, will expose you to perspectives that dissolve your ego. Minimalism isn't about living with nothing. It's about not being owned by what you own. The more your lifestyle expands to match your income, the harder it becomes to pivot. Flexibility is power. Character still matters. Integrity is what you do when there is no external reward. In a world obsessed with image, substance quietly determines longevity. Reliability builds trust, and trust is the foundation of every meaningful relationship, whether personal or professional. Blame feels good in the moment, but it locks you into victimhood. Responsibility is heavier, but it gives you control. And here's the final truth. You do not need to have everything figured out right now. You need direction, not perfection. Small, consistent actions will outpace dramatic bursts of intensity every time. The tiny decisions you make daily, what you eat, what you read, who you spend time with, how you spend money, are shaping your future silently. Stop asking why this is happening to me. Start asking what this is teaching me. Stop asking what's wrong with the world. Start asking how you can increase your value within it. The world doesn't need more comfortable men. It needs capable ones, disciplined ones, men who can handle pressure without collapsing, and success without arrogance. You can start exactly where you are. You don't need a perfect plan. You need the courage to move. These principles work. The only question is whether you will. If this hit you harder than you expected, don't just nod and move on. Reflect. Which part of your life are you avoiding responsibility in? Where are you choosing comfort over growth? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read them. And if you're serious about building real leverage in your life, financially, mentally, physically, subscribe and stay connected. Because this isn't about hype, it's about transformation. And that only happens if you decide to act.